Welcome to the show, Latham. And I'm very hopeful that today's talk will be like more into the local election and how people will actually using their democratic weapon
hmm
during these elections. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Paminda. Sat Shri Akal.
Sat Sri Akal. And let me know when you actually thinking about being a politician, being a social worker, being a sports facilitator.
Mm.
So, who's actual Chris Latham?
Yeah, so like you touched on, my background professionally, I work at Papatoetoe High School.
Right.
Been there for 4 years in the capacity of sports director, sports coordinator,
Uh-huh.
facilitating all of our extracurricular sports program.
Okay.
So heavily involved in our Papatoetoe community.
Excellent.
And yeah, so in terms of political candidacy, it's something that I toyed with the idea of doing in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I live and work in Papatoetoe. I've never worked a job outside of Papatoetoe in 13 years.
Right.
Before being at the high school, I was at Papatoetoe.
So, were you born and brought up in this part of the country?
Yeah, in Auckland.
Right.
But Papatoetoe, my wife and I purchased a property, and like I said, last 13 years I've worked here.
Excellent.
My wife is a school teacher at Papatoetoe West Primary School,
Mm-hmm.
so we're very heavily involved in community, and I'm passionate about the Papatoetoe community. I think it has a lot of potential. It's a great place to live.
Wonderful.
Obviously, it's still facing some challenges
Yes.
more recently, and that's why I'm passionate to sort of put
So,
my hat
what
in
are
the
the
ring.
challenges actually to you? I mean, looking at your political ambitions,
Mm.
what are three challenges you can see in the local area?
Just if I was to condense it to three, I would say public safety
Mhm.
is always a concern the last few years in our Papatoetoe in South Auckland generally.
Okay.
Rubbish dumping is a big one.
Mhm.
Outdoor knocking quite regularly in the evenings and hearing that as quite a prevalent issue, not having enough access to bins in the public spaces. So a lot of mattresses and couches and things like that being dumped.
Okay.
One of the things that CNR and obviously myself is quite strongly against is Auckland Council proposed a trial for a fortnightly rubbish collection. So
Mhm.
our current setup is weekly, and we're already having issues with rubbish dumping as it is. To then move that to fortnightly, it sounded like a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm very strongly against that, and I've been getting that same feedback from
Yeah.
the people on the
Yeah.
doors in Papatoetoe when I've been speaking to them. So that's two. As well as that, I'm just trying to think what. Just
You are young.
the
You're a pretty
infrastructure.
young fellow.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the youth leadership. I mean, how can we aware more and more young people to join the politics, even at the local board
Yeah.
member level or maybe at the national level?
Yeah.
So say something to your younger generation.
Yeah, so obviously in my professional capacity working at Papatoetoe High School,
Mhm.
I work with the youth of our area every single day of my life.
Okay.
And it's just about engaging them in a positive way, making
Right.
sure that they go down the right paths and making sure that there's programs there for them. Sport is my involvement. That's one pathway. There's
Okay.
others as well, community-led NGOs, get them into programs, get them into work. But as far as just generally, not just youth, our community in general, we have such a low voter turnout. Our
Yeah.
local board area 2022, we're the lowest in Auckland. 23% of eligible people that were able to cast a vote bothered to do so. That's less than 1 in 4 people, which is shocking. And I think the reason is people feel quite disconnected from council and from the decision making, and they don't often understand or perceive how their vote actually impacts the services and their community around them. So if I was to give one message to the people that are listening to your program today, would be to make sure that when the voting papers come out next month, that you cast your vote. If you care about your community, cast your vote for a candidate who is going to represent all community groups.
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself here. You know from outside of Radio Spice that I'm around different community groups.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if
And
it's-
most of the Indian community social
you
gatherings.
always see me there. It doesn't matter
Yes.
if it's Hindu, Sikh, Muslim,
Exactly.
Pacific Islander, New Zealand, European, Middle Eastern.
Mhm.
I'm there to be a voice for all of the community groups, age groups in Papatoetoe.
No doubt.
Cast your vote in the local board elections that are coming up. Few weeks,
Yeah.
you'll get the paper. Make sure you do it. We have such a low voter turnout. If you want your voice to be heard, and if there's things that you're passionate about and changes that you want to see in Papatoetoe, make sure you tick those boxes.
How about the retail safety? When you talk about public safety, I can see we had law enforcement officers from council and also a campaign by the New Zealand police from counties Manukau and police officers from Otahuhu.
Right.
They were here during the Diwali functions last year. And that was a very good idea, actually, very successful campaign. How do you look at the retail safety, looking at the bigger picture?
Yeah. So obviously retail crime has been through the roof, especially in our area. There's people just up the road from here in Hunter's Corner that have been regularly affected by retail crime.
Yep.
One of the things that I wanted like to campaign on and when I'm on, hopefully, on the local board elected is to work more closely with our local police, as well as that increased community patrols. There are some in Papatoetoe, but there needs to be more.
Yes.
Working with the wardens, Pacific wardens, Māori wardens, Indian wardens.
Yes, you can see them around.
There just needs to be more of it, as well as that increased, like I said, programs for the youth to get them away from making the wrong decisions. Make sure there is pathways and things that we can steer them in the direction early as a preventative measure so that they're not going down the wrong path. But like I said, engaging with the police, engaging with our community patrols.
Yes.
Increased lighting and CCTV as a deterrent as well.
High definition cameras.
Exactly. 4K we want to see. And just generally a deterrent, because people should feel safe and they should feel connected in their community. They should feel like they can go to their job and be able to trade and not have that threat hanging over them.
Okay. In the meantime, most of the migrant communities, they don't understand the rule or the boundaries of local board member. If you can explain it to them in a very simple language.
I'll try and explain it as simply as I can. Basically, Auckland Council from the top down, there's the mayor. Underneath the mayor sits councillors. Our ward that we're currently sitting in Papatoetoe is the Manukau ward, right? So that covers Papatoetoe, Otara, Mangere, Otahuhu, all those different places. So our local board area is Otara, Papatoetoe, which is split into two subdivisions.
Exactly.
Right? So the councillors sit above it. On the local board, it's split into two subdivisions. So 3 for Otara and 4 for Papatoetoe. So one of those 4 seats is what I'm campaigning on.
Yes.
And for our migrant communities that don't understand or they might not have the education, I feel like it's really important to get out and meet them where they are, whether that's at the temple, whether that's out in their shops, in the markets, and getting the education to them in language that they can understand.
Yes.
Making sure that it's accessible and that if they're a resident or if they're a citizen of the country, that they're enrolled to vote, firstly. They understand the process and they understand why their vote is important. Like I said to you earlier in the program, 23% voter turnout last election.
Yes.
Shocking.
It's nothing.
We have such a big migrant community in Papatoetoe. We have a population.
I would say more than 50%, actually.
Well, we have a population of over 50,000 people just in Papatoetoe, right? I'd say close to 40% would be Indian and
one
Asian.
Of the most vibrant suburb of the country.
It's a tapestry, is one way you could look at it. It's a vibrant melting pot of different cultures. Pacifica is the bigger group in Otara. I would say in Papatoetoe, 40% of the people at least are either Indian or Asian.
Fijian Indian.
Exactly.
Or, South African Indians.
So we need to make sure that whether the resources are presented to them in their common tongue, Hindi or Punjabi or Gujarati or whatever it is, that they understand the democratic process.
Yes.
And that they just encourage, whether it takes our community leaders from different faiths across the political landscape, just to encourage them to cast their vote and to have their say. They represent a massive population. And I feel like this is the year that we might get a better voter turnout.
Last but not least, tell us more about the resources, about funding. I mean, when you're looking at different ethnic background people, they have to celebrate their festivals in this part of the world. And obviously they need some help or hand from the local council. So what you can do for the different migrant communities to embrace their culture.
See, I'm all about embracing culture.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm across different cultural groups, different ethnic backgrounds. They
Right.
can approach the local board, our Otara Papatoetoe local board, and apply for grants. They can get in front of the local board each month. There's a meeting. They
Yes.
can get 5 minutes in front, make their proposal, come
Yep.
with a clear plan as to how it affects their community, the numbers of people that it's going to impact,
Yes.
and apply for that funding. And the funding, if it is a project that is suitable, there's no reason why that funding wouldn't be made available for them, whether it's for Diwali, whether it's for Pacifica, whether it's for Māori, Matariki, whatever it is.
Hmm.
That's what the funding is there for, and we should celebrate our community, and we'll continue to build a connected, inclusive Papatoetoe.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to say to your people in here, in this vibrant part of the city?
Yeah.
And because not long to go for the voting papers will be
Yeah.
in their homes, and just encourage them to cast their vote, maybe by post or maybe going into the library
Yeah.
or into the New World this time. So by all means, they should cast their vote.
They should. Like they're trying to make it more accessible. It is a post ballot. You do need to be enrolled to vote. You can still cast a special vote. It's a little bit more of an
Yes.
involved process. It's not too late.
Yeah.
But like I said, like you said, the voting papers will be in your mailbox within the next few weeks.
Yes.
It's slightly different from the general election, central government, where mostly people vote on one day. This one is open for multiple weeks. They count
Exactly.
and they tally the votes daily.
Yes.
So you've got plenty of opportunities, like you said, to either return the envelope that it comes in, or to drop it at the library, New World, places like that, trying to remove those barriers and make sure. But what I would implore the people to do, if you're in the Papatoetoe subdivision,
Yep.
you have an opportunity to vote for up to 4 candidates. I would like to
Yes.
be one of those candidates. It's
Wonderful.
really important to get a different local, youthful, fresh perspective on our local board. We've got a few people that have been on the local board at the moment, probably been there a little bit too long. We will need to make sure there's diversity and that all cultures.
Youthful and bodybuilder, eh?
Yeah, outside of this, yeah. To make sure that all groups are represented,
Yes.
and that we're making responsible, common sense decision making for our community. No politics, no ideologically driven. We just want to see what's best and common sense for our community.
Wonderful.
So I would say vote Chris Latham, vote for CNR, the oldest political party in Auckland and local government. Nearly 90 years.
That's right.
CNR has been around. If you're unaware, funded and project managed the building of the Harbour Bridge back in the day. So a lot of history behind CNR. That's why they're endorsing me as their strong local candidate. Don't just instinctively think, I live in South Auckland, I have to vote a certain way. Look at all of what has come out in terms of policy and what the candidates are standing for, and make an informed decision. Vote Chris Latham and vote CNR.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Chris. And I'm very sure that you will make the difference in the local politics. And I'm very sure that when you say youthful faces, and I'm very sure there's a very positive message to our people out there, they should stay fit. Their well-being and safety is our main concern in this side of the country. But again, overall, looking at the bigger picture, I think there is a good mix. We need to represent our people at the local level and at the federal level. So again, this is the time to cast your vote. As Chris mentioned, that once you receive your vote by post, and you will have few weeks to send your vote by post, or maybe cast your vote in person in the library, in the local library, and this time in New World in Old Papatoetoe as well. So we'll keep you posted on our Radio Spice Facebook page. And thank you very much for your time and your wisdom.
Thank you.
And wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
ਦੋਸਤੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਲੈਥਮ ਸਨ। ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਲੈਥਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ C&R ਨੂੰ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਸੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੀਟੇਲ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਉਹ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲੋਕਲ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਮੌਰੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਤਰੇਕੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕਾ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਹੋਵੇ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਮਿਟਡ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਦੀ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਲੋਕਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਮੈਂਬਰ, ਉਹ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਯਕੀਨੀ ਬਣਾਉਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਹੀ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਵੇ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਓਟਾਰਾ ਪਾਪਾਟੋਇਟਾ ਲੋਕਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਐਮਬਰੇਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ, Chris, and we'll meet you in next few weeks, actually.
I'll be back.
Very, very close to the voting.
Yep.
We will get back to you and invite you again in our radio station. Thank you kindly. So ਦੋਸਤੋ, ਇਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਵੀ ਸੁਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਲੈਥਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ C&R ਦੇ ਓਟਾਰਾ ਪਾਪਾਟੋਇਟਾ ਲੋਕਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਕੰਟੈਸਟੈਂਟ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ